Okay, this is Sachin here from the Angel Wing LLC. We are continuing our weekly personal transformation online program. This is week number 4, and we are going to begin, as we usually do, with a small, just a kind of a warm-up meditation. Please remember that during each week, you will need the 2 notebooks. You will need 1 blank 3x5 card per week, and you have your vitamin M envelope where you're putting money in there every week. Okay, so this is our grounding meditation that we did last time, and we're going to continue that today also.
Sometimes the mind can feel like a pack of wild horses, jumping around from past to present to future, refusing to sit still. And like a pack of wild horses, trying to force the mind to be still just doesn't work. The horses are wild in nature after all. But with practice and time, we can train the mind to be aware of when it's galloping in all directions. And we can guide it back to the present moment with a kind and friendly hand. So let's see if we can practice taming the mind by taking a few mindful deep breaths. Wherever you are now, get comfortable. Eyes can be open or closed, and perhaps relaxing the shoulders. And now, taking a deep breath, breathing in through the nose, and breathing out through the mouth. Noticing what thought or sensation the mind is chasing after. And again, just gently taking another deep breath. In through the nose and out through the mouth. One last time, breathing in and breathing out. Similar to the wild horses, over time, the mind can become more tame, more calm, and may even start to enjoy more moments of stillness. Remember to just keep practicing. Sometimes.
Okay, you can open your eyes and welcome back. We are starting week number 4 as of right now, and we're going to do just a quick review from last week. Please make sure you have your 2 notebooks with you. And if you remember from last week, we had looked at awareness of memory as our transformative principle, the QTP principle number 3. This is just a quick reminder of where we were about this last time, and hopefully you did the exercise that was there, that was recommended. There's 5 points about this, just to review very quickly. Memory is the ability to store and retrieve information in your brain or in our brain. There are different types of memory, including short-term memory, which lasts for a few minutes, or a few seconds to a minute, and long-term memory, which can last for years. I think that's easy to see. Memory can be improved through techniques such as repetition and association, where you can connect new information to things that you already know, which is what we are doing on a week-to-week basis. Memories can be influenced by emotions and experiences, and sometimes memories can be distorted or even forgotten over time. What is our goal here? So the 5th point is that our brains can hold a lot of information, but sometimes we need to use tools like writing things down and taking pictures to help us remember important details. These are some of the 5 major ideas about memory. What is the goal in this quantum transformation principle? Is awareness. So memory awareness, like what is memory? How does it work? What can I do with it? So we talked about that a bit last time, and hopefully you did the homework assignment. So that was week number 3. Did you do the homework? Right, and then there was also the sentence completion exercise that was asked to be done last time around. And that was on this yellow line. Energy can be trained by personal conflicts, internal, external. And there were 7 points related to that that we had looked at last time. And hopefully you did the homework assignment. And remember, if you ever have any questions or if you feel stuck somewhere or anything like that, always just contact me on my cell. I can help you through the process. You can send an email to Angel Wing, right? And we'll get back to you promptly. Okay. So if you remember, there are 7 key points related to the central concept. And we've looked at the first 3 in the first 3 weeks. Today, we're going to start looking at point number 4 in the 4th week. That steps can be taken to reduce and eliminate unnecessary energy dissipation. Before we go into it, I'd like you to answer the question verbally. Do you agree with this sentence? Do you disagree? Do you partially agree? You're not sure? You don't understand it at all? Let's just kind of verbally answer that. And what you should do, what you can do in workbook number 1, put today's date, right? And then just write that yellow sentence in yellow. Just write that down as like a header. And then we're going to go into today's exercises. Right, so when you're done with writing that sentence and then you've answered the question verbally, and if you want to write down your answer, whether you agree, disagree, partially agree, that's fine too, no problem. It's perfectly all right. And just take a look at what that means. Steps can be taken to reduce and eliminate unnecessary energy dissipation. Right? We'll go into what this possibly mean for all of us. Once you're ready, please put your hand up on Zoom. And okay, very good, that's fine. All right, so in workbook 1, what I'm going to ask you to do is to write these 7 points down. So these are 7 ways of trying to understand this key point that is in yellow. So take some time and write down each sentence and put a nice blank space there so you have space in there to write things, or write a couple of words if you need to. That practicing mindfulness and staying in the present moment can help reduce mental energy dissipation by focusing on the blank at hand. So take your time with it. As you're writing, just take steady breaths in and out. Please don't rush. Writing is good for us. You don't need to answer the question right now. If something does pop in your mind, you want to put something in the blank, you can. You don't have to. Okay, and after you're done, please do raise your hand or just let me know somehow that you're done. And remember, this is your homework exercise. We're going to go through this in the next few minutes also. Okay. Okay. Are you done, Chetna? Are you done? Okay, good. All right. So now that you've written these 7 points down, we're going to go through each one of them. The first one was this: the practicing mindfulness and staying in the present moment can help reduce mental energy and dissipation by focusing on the task at hand. It's a possible answer. If you want to write that answer in there in a parentheses, you can do that if you want to. No problem. So focusing on the task at hand means you're using your mental energy efficiently and not wasting it. So what I'd like you to do now in the next couple of slides, you can write some things down if you want to, but just listen carefully and see if you can absorb what we're trying to say here. That focusing on the task at hand, any task, doesn't matter what it is. Why is that important? What happens in that? It means you're using your mental energy efficiently, right? That's the key. It's an efficient way and we're not wasting energy. Okay, now point number 2, practicing mindfulness can help improve decision-making skills as it helps you stay calm and focused under pressure, preventing impulsive choices. How do you do that? How do you practice mindfulness? Just be task-oriented, that you're just staying focused on what you're doing right now. That's the same point as the first one. And then the decision-making, what ought to be done, what needs to be done, you can do it in a very straightforward way. The key there is to prevent impulsive choices. Third point, mindfulness encourages self-awareness, helping you to recognize and manage your emotions, leading to better energy management, right? So practicing mindfulness has very much to do with energy management, recognizing emotions. Pretty straightforward, easy stuff to understand. That was point number 1 there. The second point that you wrote down, setting clear goals and priorities can help prevent unnecessary inner energy loss by giving yourself a sense of purpose and direction. If you want to write the word purpose underneath the blank or maybe even in the blank with parentheses, it's up to you. You can do that. And then as homework, you can put another word in there. So let's look at this. Having clear goals provides a roadmap for our actions, making it easier to focus on what's important and avoid distractions. Right? That's just right now, you're just listening to this, and we're not going to analyze it too much. We just want to kind of sit with it and just be with it. It's very simple. Keep it very, very simple. A sense of purpose motivates you to work efficiently, conserving mental energy for tasks that align with your goals. When we have a sense of purpose, our mental power is more efficient, it's conserved. And that sense of purpose and goals, they go together. Easy to understand. And then the third point here is about priorities. Prioritizing tasks helps one to manage one's time better, reducing stress, keeping your mental energy focused on what matters. Right? So these are the basic ideas that are all ways of understanding the central concept further. Okay. And remember, for the homework assignment, you'll fill in the blank, and all these slides will be sent to you so you can review them at your leisure. The next point was taking short breaths throughout the day to practice deep breathing can help reduce stress and conserve mental energy. Right, so deep breathing helps slow down your heart rate and relax your muscles, leading to a calmer state of mind and less stress. These are exercises that can be done. We have multiple angel wing programs on this several times during the week. We have a workbook. We have so many other tools that we continue to share with our group. Short breaks So actually, the deep breathing it can be done in the short break. So the short breaks allow your brain to recharge, making it easier to focus and stay productive when you return to your tasks. So every half an hour, take a short break, 2-3 minute break, get up and do something else. It makes the mind fresher and changes our energy level, allows us to recharge. Regularly practicing deep breathing can improve your overall mental well-being, leading to better management of mental energy. Mental energy is like anything else. It's part of your bank account, your inner bank account. It's got to be managed. There's only so much of it throughout the day, right? It's a limited quantity. So regular breathing increases that, it stores it better, it allows us to manage it better. So this is the importance of taking these short breaks throughout the day and practice deep breathing. You can practice other things too. Doesn't have to be breathing, but that'll be your homework assignment. See what else you might think could go in there. Right now, we just want to make sure that these ideas are just making sense and they're clear. Okay, the next one here, limited exposure to negative information and focusing on positive aspects of life can help prevent mental energy from being wasted on unproductive thoughts. Very simple, right? Negative information, negative situations, circumstances. The more we are exposed, to negativity, it drains our energy. When we are exposed to positive aspects of life, it helps us to increase our energy. Right, so constant exposure to negative information can increase stress and anxiety, making it hard to concentrate, and it drains mental energy. It's all part of awareness. And we'll have many more specific exercises on this, but right now, we want the concepts to be clear. Focusing on positive aspects helps improve your mood and outlook on life, allowing you to use mental energy efficiently. I think you would agree that that's the case. And then the third point here, by surrounding yourself with positive influences, you can maintain a healthier mindset and prevent unnecessary energy loss and negative thoughts. Now, positive influences, all different kinds. What are they? Those are things that will be shared later on, specifically as recommendations. Right now, I'm just simply asking you to make sure that the concept is clear in your mind. That's all. The exact nuts and bolts of how to do this, we'll get to all that as we move ahead. Okay, establishing a regular sleep schedule and getting enough rest can help conserve mental energy by ensuring your mind is well rested and well-rested for daily activities. You can put the word well-rested in parentheses if you want. A regular sleep schedule supports your body's natural circadian rhythm, which improves sleep quality and helps you feel refreshed. Regularity of sleep, very, very important. Getting enough rest allows one's brain to recharge and process information for the day, ensuring it's ready for new tasks and challenges, which makes our life very happy and we are looking forward to the next day. A well-rested mind is more focused and alert, allowing you to use your mental energy efficiently, effectively throughout the day. Obviously, we already know that that's the case. It's kind of self-evident. Okay, the next one, engaging in physical activities like exercise and sports can help reduce mental fatigue by releasing what? Releasing endorphins, which are natural mood elevators. Right, so physical activities increase production of endorphins, which are chemicals in your brain that improve mood and reduce stress. Exercise helps clear your mind, making it easier to focus on tasks and maintain a positive attitude. I think you would agree that that's the case. And participating in sports or other physical activities promotes a healthy lifestyle, which can contribute to improved mental energy and overall well-being. So very straightforward. There's nothing new in here that you didn't probably already know. We're just wanting to reinforce that that's what happens. We know that endorphins are released and they are natural mood elevators. They help our mood, our sense of feeling good about ourselves, etc. Here's the next one. Developing effective time management skills can help prevent inner energy dissipation by reducing stress and procrastination. This is a big thing. We delay. we'll do it tomorrow, do it later, do this, and it all builds up. Small things build up. And that causes stress. That causes energy dissipation. So good time management allows you to plan your tasks efficiently, ensuring you have enough mental energy for important activities. Keeping a good schedule, things like that are necessary. Setting deadlines and breaking tasks into smaller steps. What happens with that? We stay on track. It's very simple. Break tasks into smaller steps. There's always big things to accomplish. They can't be accomplished with the flick of a switch or just a snap of a finger. Everything has its time. And the third point is reducing stress levels. Reducing stress through effective time management helps conserve mental energy, leaving you better prepared to handle challenges and daily tasks. The internal stress goes down. How does it go down? When we recognize how to use our time better. This is the point in this slide here that we're presenting, right? So stress is something we don't really want, but particularly the negative kind of stress. So that's that point. And we are at the halfway point for today. So there's a quick 2-minute stretch exercise here that we always do. We're going to do that right now.
I'm so glad you're joining us for a quick movement break. You should aim to integrate movement into your workday at least every 30 minutes of uninterrupted sitting time. Doing so can reduce your risk of weight gain, high blood pressure, and obesity. Let's get started. Begin by standing. Root both feet into the ground. Take a great big inhale and reach both hands high above your head. On your exhale, goalpost the arms and lift the chest, finding a baby back bend. Back bends can quickly boost your energy levels and help to refocus your mind when dealing with stress. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, lift the chest and goalpost the arms. Place your hands down by your side. Now bring your right knee up to your chest. Try to balance here as long as you can. Feel the stretch in the back of your leg and lower back. Now slowly bring your foot back behind you and pull it towards your glutes, stretching through the front of your hips. You may want to hold on to something in order to help keep your balance. Let's switch to the other side. Bring your left knee up to your chest. Try to balance here as long as you can. Feel the stretch in the back of your leg and lower back. Now slowly bring your foot back behind you, pull it towards your glutes, stretching through the front of your hips. Bring both feet back together. Next, bend your arms by your side and begin to twist right and left, opening up into your sides and spine. You can leave your arms bent or straighten them out depending on the space you have available. Twisting the spine back and forth can help relieve any tension in the lower back from sitting. Lastly, place your feet about hips distance. Then place your hands onto your hips. Take an inhale and lift the chest up, and exhale, slowly beginning to lower the chest down. As you begin to fold forward, bend the knees to begin lengthening through the hamstrings until your chest touches the tops of your thighs. You can dangle your arms down towards the floor or grab onto your elbows. Stay here to continue lengthening through the spine, or you can sway side to side. Bring the hands back to your hips, and on your next inhale, slowly begin to rise up. Head comes up last. Great work on integrating this quick physical activity break into your busy day. Setting a reminder on your phone or computer can help you remember to fit in regular breaks.
Okay, very good. Now that you've done that very simple 2-minute exercise, please open workbook number 2. And hopefully you had a chance to kind of rate yourself last week. I have sent an Excel spreadsheet regarding the 12 dimensions, and I'll send it again. It'll be attached to all the emails. Very easy to do. And I'll show that to you in just a moment here. This is just a quick reminder. These are 12 common dimensions that people have. This is a way of classifying career and finance and physical health, mental health, etc., which we've gone through before. If you remember, just a quick review. All 12 are interconnected to each other, within each other. They intersect with themselves also. which means that this dodecagon figure, the 12-sided figure, number 1 there is the first dimension, intersects with all the other 11 and within itself. And all of that is possible due to energy. No activity in life is possible without energy. However, energy may be conceptualized. Just as this diagram shows of a balanced, like a wheel type of diagram here, that all 12 dimensions we want to balance. This is our goal, right? To do that, we have been giving numbers every week, and this is our 4th week. So you should have numbers for 3 weeks so far. Maybe 2 weeks. Let's see. Yeah, you would have week number 1, 2, and then the 3rd one. I think you probably should have that also. Yes, you should have numbers for 3 weeks. And then we're starting our 4th week right now. So actually, you probably have numbers for the 1st week and 2nd week, which you probably did last time. And then the 3rd week number you might do this time, depending on how you did it. It could be either way. But we are starting our 4th week now. So you'll be rating the 4th week next time when we meet. So this rating scale is from 0 to 10, if you remember. And it is your assessment. This is just a quick reminder. From 0 to 10, 0 is the worst possible situation, let's say with regards to career, as an example, dimension 1. 10 would be highest level of satisfaction. Right? This is your own assessment. Okay, so review of homework in week number 3. You should have completed, the rating, and in doing so, if you haven't done so, just total up those numbers. And I'm going to show you a little Excel spreadsheet here, so as a screen share, so you can see what that looks like. And it's very easy to use. Just one moment here. I'll show it to you. So this spreadsheet has been emailed to all the participants, and it's very easy to use. So if you open up Excel, or you can even open up, I think it's Google Sheets, it'll open in there. Every week you just put in these boxes your number. Like, so for example, in week number 1, you can put a 5 there, and let's say you put another 5 there. I'm just giving you as an example, a 4, an 8, a 9, 8, 7.5, 4, 8, 8, 7, and let's say 4. So the total score there is 73.5, and the weekly total so far is 73.5. That's week number 1. How do you do this for week number 2? Same thing. You literally put the numbers in there. You just save your sheet on your computer. That's all. I'm just putting in some numbers here for now. Very easy. So you don't have to worry about necessarily writing things down in your workbook. You can for this part. I mean, you can if you want. You can make those columns if you want, like one at a time, and do it manually if that works better for you. But this is the easiest way to do it. So, and you can see that there's a grand total here, 13-week total, that'll just keep coming up. I put the formulas in there already. You don't have to calculate anything. You have to literally just punch in the numbers. That's it. And it goes like this for 13 weeks. Our program, our first part of this program is 13 weeks. It goes in 13-week segments. 13 times 4 is 52. That's our 1-year program. And we'll have 4 sheets like this. Sheet number 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we'll be able to label them. I'll send you a workbook. Very, very easy to use. All right, so if you need help with that, just give me a call. I can do a screen share with you and help you through that if you need any help with it. All right, so let me do this. Stop the screen share here with that. Let's go back to our. And remember, this is a little diagram that I showed you last time, and all that really shows is that at any given week, the maximum number is 120. We want to get to 84 or above, which means that you are 70% balanced overall. If you can break that or hold at 70% or more, then that'll be a good goal for us. That means that that's a pretty good level of balance, and then to increase it. But if people are having difficulty, if some of these numbers are not increasing, let us know. We can give you additional resources or refer you to additional individuals who can help you out in specific areas. Because our program is not an individualized counseling or therapy program, or even like we're not going to give you specific individualized financial advice and things like that. But we'll give you general guidelines. This blue or this purple diagram here or grid. All that, it's very easy to understand that. It just kind of shows the reduction by 10%. That means that ideally, if you have a value of 120, it's like, wow, that's the topmost. And if it's going down, that's what this looks like. 10% reduction is 108. Another 10% below that is 97. It's just a way of thinking about it. That's all. You can kind of, if you want to use that to track each dimension and get a little bit of a bird's eye view, like if you had, for example, an overall score of 97 on a particular week, and then that overall score dropped to like 46, well, that's a 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, like almost like a 60, it's like a 60% reduction. So it's just for those who are quantitatively inclined to look at things that way, you can do that there. So for week number 4, the same exercise as usual. You're going to go through each of those 12 areas, and you're going to select a number. You don't do this right now, so you will do this either at the end of next week, or maybe you'll do it you'll do it tomorrow based on the previous week, depending on how you started this. Okay? All right. Actually, the way it should be done is that you go through the first week, and then you actually give the numbers for the second week. So we put the 12 numbers in at the beginning of the first week, and then at the beginning of the second week. So that's how you do that. So that way you know where you were. But you can do it another way also. You can do it at the end of the week if you want, whichever makes sense to you. It won't make any difference really. All right, so the same exercise is there. For 12 dimensions, you're going to put in numbers. If you haven't done it already last time, you can do it tomorrow. You can do it today. And then, whatever date you have on there, just make sure it's 7 days out. And that's the easiest way to do that. And then even on the Excel spreadsheet, the dates are on there. All right, now, what we're going to do here, and by the way, this is a way, if you're doing this manually, you can always make a grid like this every single week. Just make 1 through 12, put these, put the titles in their career, finance, etc., and just put a rating. If you're doing it manually, you can do it this way. And this weekly tracking worksheet, some people want to have like a physical worksheet to fill out. This will be available as a printable physical worksheet, and as a Word document, as a fillable Word document, and as a PDF document. So you can always use that if you like that better. So I'll be giving this to you in various ways. All right, now this is a 12-dimensional tracking. That's just I showed that to you in Excel already. Okay. Now what we're going to do today, for the remainder of the time today, I'm going to give you general guidelines about how to increase these numbers. Again, these are just general guidelines, or these are some things like food for thought kind of thing. And where we are recording this, the specifics of this is going to be up to you. How you're going to apply this exactly. We'll be giving that information also as guidelines, but the specifics of your life are your own. These guidelines can be applicable as per your own situation in life and your own number. So this is your number that you want to increase. Now let's take a look at this. The first dimension is career. Pursue opportunities for growth and skill development. There's 3 guidelines here. So I'm going to read these through. And in your workbook, what I'd like you to do, because you should have the date already in the section. I want you to put on top there general guidelines. Just make an underline general guidelines and put 1- career. And you don't necessarily have to put that white statement in there. I mean, you can if you want to. But there's 3 general ideas here. Attend workshops, seminars, or conferences to stay updated in your field. It's one possibility. Seek feedback from colleagues and supervisors to identify areas for improvement. It's always good to get feedback from others, particularly colleagues and supervisors, okay, to increase that career number. If you gave yourself, let's say, like a 6.5 or 6.7, and you want that to go to a 7, let's say, from a 6.5 to a 7 this week, you could try to implement one of these. Pursue certifications or continuing education to increase your expertise and marketability. And there's a lot of other things like this, so there's like hundreds of items that could be put in here, which we'll put in some other formats for you later on. Right now, we just want you to start thinking about what you need to do that you're not doing to increase that number. I kind of, in the first 3 weeks, I've asked you to just put the number there, and then just from the top of your head, kind of whatever you feel that needs to be done, how to increase that number, how to prevent it from decreasing, write that down. And that's fine, because that's what you need to do as far as this particular point here. Let me see, where is this? Yeah, write the specific steps to be taken, right? That's fine. But now we're going to go into how to do that exactly. You've been doing it in your own way for now, which is all right. But there's some specific or general suggestions here. So this is just for career, number one. Look, I'm going to go through each one of these. What I'd like you to do, if one of those three is something you feel you should be doing or some modification of it, write it down. Just put 1- career, put a colon there and write it down. You know, you don't have to write the whole sentence, even you put a couple of words down. Something that you'll remember. If you want to write the whole sentence, it's okay. All right, so select one point below. You don't have to, and if you want to select all three of them or two of them, you can do that. And again, this is being recorded, so you can always go back to the MP4 recording and see all the slides and all the other stuff, you know. So don't worry about writing every single thing down that you want to. Okay, we're gonna go to number 2 now. If you're ready, I think we can go to number 2. If you need more time, let me know. Okay, so that was career. Okay, Chetan, you ready? All right, very good. Number 2, finance. They're related, of course, career and finances are related. But anyway, in finances, you want to create a budget and save consistently. That's what a general idea. Three points are shown here. Track my income and expenses to identify areas where costs can be cut. You know, so many people don't have a budget. They're just kind of winging it. It's good to track your income and expenses. You can do it on an Excel spreadsheet. There's a lot of ways of doing it. And we'll be providing those tools as we move along. Right? I just want to identify one of these three that could be used. Set up an emergency fund to cover unexpected expenses. That's a big one. A lot of people don't have that. You know, that unexpected things happen in life and you don't have any backup, which causes stress. And you know that you don't have any backup, and that causes more stress, which causes internal energy to be dissipated. So it all goes back to that. So if you haven't set up an emergency fund, start doing it, start planning for it. Okay, third point, contribute to retirement savings or investment accounts to build long-term wealth. That leads to peace of mind. Everybody wants peace of mind. You have to have retirement savings, wherever you are. Maybe starting out in your career, start saving. Put for a good 401ks or investment accounts, get some financial advisor, and we'll be giving general guidelines for all of this as we move along. But select one of the three, and if you want to write more things down, you can. This is number 2. This is finance. General guidelines only. If you're ready, we can move on. Okay. Number 3, physical health. Exercise regularly, need a balanced diet. Wow, nothing new there. Everybody knows that, right? Everybody knows that. But how many people actually do it? That's the key. It's about application. Our program is application. So there's 3 suggestions here. And remember, always as a disclaimer, please always check with your medical providers or counselors or coaches or whoever you're working with to make sure that you're not doing anything that you shouldn't be doing, right? Or eating things that you shouldn't be eating. So always check upon medical advice and guidance. 3 points. Incorporate a variety of physical activities in your routine, such as cardio, strength training, flexibility exercise, etc. It's putting it part of the routine. So we have already some workbooks on that, easy ways of doing it. If you haven't done it, start doing it. That's a way of increasing this number. This is the 3rd dimension. Consume a variety of fruits, vegetables, lean proteins, whole grains for optimal nutrition. Some people are not doing any of those. You know, they're eating quite unhealthy items which can cause coronary disease, can cause all kinds of problems, right? So we want to make those modifications now. And you should know from your primary care physicians what kind of recommendations they've given. 4th point, prioritize rest and recovery by getting adequate sleep and managing stress. We talked about that before already. You know, too much on the go, getting only 4 hours of sleep and getting stressed out all the time is bad, overall bad for metabolism. And we have, of course, Dr. Chetna and others who are experts in the medical field. They can, give, and they have already created a lot of information on this, but there's more coming your way. All right, so select one of those if you think that'll help you. Increase your number. Our goal is to get to a near 10, if possible. Right, that would be fantastic. That means we are really in that balanced state. If we're like above a 9, we are just fantastic. All right, wonderful. That's number 3 here. Mental health. Practice self-care and seek support when needed. Select one of the points below. Engage in activities that promote relaxation, such as meditation, deep breathing, journaling, etc. Create a network of friends, family members, or mental health specialists to rely on in terms of hardship. Isolation is not good. Loneliness is not good. Set boundaries and avoid overcommitment to prevent burnout. It's finding that right balance. So if you see what your number is, and if it's not a 10, that means you could probably use some help from one of these. Or if you're doing one of these, maybe do it a little bit better. So, or there's lots of 100 other suggestions for this. I just put 3 here that are quite common. Okay, so if one of these jumps out at you, write it down, make some points, or you can write it down later on when you review the recording. All right, I'm going to move on here to number 5. This is family and relationships. Foster open communication and spend quality time together. Right? So how do you do that? Schedule regular family meals, game nights, and outings to stay connected. Scheduling it is important. People always say, oh, I want to spend more time with family and all that. But if you have a schedule, which you probably should, schedule it. Talk to your husband or your wife or your significant other or whoever is there, your kids, and schedule it. And when you do that, that promotes a lot of good strength in the family. This is family and relationship enhancement. This is dimension number 5. Active listening and empathizing with each other's feelings. If you're not doing that, if you feel you're not really doing that, try to do it. How to do it, how to go about it, we're going to expand upon that later on. But let's just get the ball rolling. And try to do however you feel that should be done, you can do that. Angel Wing is going to provide a lot of guidance, a lot of suggestions on how to do all of this. But that'll be coming a little bit later on. Right now, we're just wanting to identify. Now, show appreciation and gratitude through gestures, words, and acts of kindness. 3 points, very important. We may sometimes really have appreciation and gratitude, but difficulty expressing it. Well, if it's not expressed, nobody knows that you have it. Right? So you got to express it. How do you express it? By gestures. Some flowers are there, or some small gifts are there, acts of kindness, words, etc. Showing appreciation and gratitude is very, very, very important in family and relationship. Many people take each other for granted. What's the big deal? No, that is not a good thing. All right, so keeping that in mind. Now we're going to move to number 6. 6th dimension is social life. It's up to you how you think that might be in your life. Engage in activities with friends and join clubs or organizations. Depends, to each his own, right? 3 general guidelines. Plan regular outings, gatherings, or events with friends to maintain connections. Connection is necessary. Without connection, our emotions do not remain healthy. We cannot and must not remain isolated, but the connection should be good type of connection, right? So this is point number 1. Number 2, join clubs or organizations that align with your interests and values to meet like-minded individuals. Doesn't mean everybody's thinking the same thing, but some like-mindedness is good. That can help us engage in this and increase dimension number 6 number. Remember, we are trying to increase that number from wherever your number is. If it's not a 10, even if it's like a 9.2, that means it can be increased. Attend community events or engage in local activities to expand your social circle. Now, it's up to you if you feel the social circle is good enough, is good enough. If you feel that it needs to be expanded significantly more, that's up to you. This is your internal assessment on what you think. And if you're not sure about that, you can put a question there and say, I'm not sure, I need to go into it further. Send me an email, send Angel Wing an email, and we can give you more assistance on how to understand some of those, or how to perhaps tap into that a little bit better. All right. That's number 6. Number 7, personal development. Well, what is that? Set goals and invest time in learning new skills. This is a big one. Sometimes we're just so caught up in old stuff, in the old rut. No, learn something new. So identify areas of interest and desired goals, and set SMART goals to achieve. The SMART is that it's a formula, and you can, in fact, what is SMART? I'm going to show you a little slide here. SMART is specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time. You don't have to write this. I'm just showing it to you. And this slide will be available for you in the PDF. So if this is something that you need to do that you haven't done, particularly if you are trying to really increase this number significantly, develop yourself further, SMART goal tracking is good. We'll send you lots of sheets, and other special module will be created on this later on. So identify, but right now, as of now, identify areas of interest or desired growth. So if a person says, I want to become a better swimmer, let's say, that's going to improve my growth, or a better cyclist or whatever. All right, okay, that's a desired interest, right? But then how do I do that? So this is the SMART tracking. The formula for SMART shows how to do that. Define the objective, use precise. There's a whole bunch of pieces here. We'll get to that later on. Okay, that's one possibility. Another one, dedicate time to read, take courses, or attend workshops related to your goals. Easy to understand. And the third one is reflect on your progress regularly and adjust your approach as needed. That's the key. That's what we try to do every week, right? We're trying to do that. Reflect on your progress. So where was I last week? Where am I today? Where am I? Sometimes we're just in that pattern. That's why we developed this program. We don't even take time to reflect what's going on. So we want to reflect on the progress and keep adjusting, keep tweaking. This is dimension 7. We got a couple more and then we'll be ready to go here. Spiritual life. Explore your beliefs and practice and participate in spiritual practices. And we use the word spiritual in a general sense. That can include meditation, religious gatherings, religious beliefs, all those things. So reflect on your values, beliefs, and sense of purpose through journaling, meditation, conversation, etc. That's number 8, spiritual life, depending on your number. Now, what if somebody says, I don't have any spiritual life, 0 interest? You can just put NA for the time being, but usually that probably won't be the case. Some people like to meditate. They like to have some concept of spirit and all that. Whatever that might be, it's up to you. Attend religious or spiritual gatherings, workshops, or retreats to deepen your understanding. If you're already involved in a particular path and a particular faith, how to increase that? Let's say, for example, if you're a Protestant or a Catholic in Christianity, or a Jehovah's Witness, or any of the denominations, as for example, and you want to go further in that, in your number that you've given us, let's say like 7.2, and you feel that you should attend more Bible study courses or something like that, you can do that. So you can increase that number that way. It's up to you. Incorporate daily rituals such as prayer, mindfulness, to nurture your spiritual well-being. That's a big one. So depending on which tradition you're following, there will be guidelines of how to increase your connection with God. If you're trying to connect with God, if you're trying to do better meditation or yoga or whatever it is that you're doing, there are daily practices, prayers, there are rituals, there are exercises that are recommended in every tradition, in every practice. Find out what they are and see if you can incorporate them to increase that number. All right, number 9. This is recreation and leisure. Make time for hobbies and interests, right? So again, this is throughout the week. Doesn't mean that you're doing some new hobby every single week. It's not like that. Schedule regular downtime to engage in activities you enjoy to help you unwind. Many people don't schedule. They're so busy with all the other dimensions of life, with the other 11 dimensions, they don't forget about leisure downtime for time for themselves. And maybe you want to watch a couple of movies on Netflix once in a while. Say, hey, I'm going to do that. But schedule it, and enjoy yourself. And don't worry about it too much. And maybe do it with your family or however you want to do it. You decide. But don't ignore this. You see, and the flip side of it is true. Some people are so much into recreation and leisure that they ignore family and ignore work. And that shouldn't happen also. Explore new hobbies or interests to keep your leisure time engaging and fulfilling. Something new hobby, new interest, some new way of looking at that keeps our mind fresh. Share your interests with others to build connections and create a sense of community. But I think we do that a lot in terms of Facebook and stuff like that. But if you have like-minded people who are interested in those kinds of leisurely activities, very good. These dimensions intersect. You may have a close friend, a couple of close friends that you can do some leisurely stuff with, and that overlaps into social life, that overlaps into leisure life. It can overlap into physical and mental. So they all intersect together. Beautiful, beautiful. Very easy, nothing, earth-shatteringly something that you don't know. It's just all practical stuff. This is dimension 9. Number 10, this is an important one. Create a comfortable, organized living space and contribute to your community's well-being. First of all, get your house in order. That means keep the home clean. Declutter and maintain organization in your home. It's very important. Angel Wing recommends this strongly. And sometimes if the house is a total, I mean, it's like, you can't make heads or tails of where things are, which is there quite often, more than what people realize. You start the organization process one step at a time. You don't try to do it all at one time. Can't be done, because sometimes this has been built up, and clutter has been built up for 6 months, 8 months. So you got to tackle it one step at a time. And then usually what happens when people see, like, for example, in a garage that's been just filled and dumped, stuff is dumped in there. They don't want to go inside there. They say, I'm afraid to go inside. They're afraid to go inside the basement. It's become a trash place. Every small thing has been stored there. Can't make heads or tails of any of it. That's not useful for us. Find out what you need, what you don't need, declutter it, organize it, so that you create in your home, and I can create in my home, a serene environment. So when I enter into my house, you know what a 10 looks like in this? It means I feel fantastic. I feel this is so beautiful. It's my sanctuary. It's my place of calming down, my place of happiness, my place of joy. I should have that feeling when I walk into my home, right? And if I'm not getting that feeling, that means that there's some changes to be made, because that's Angel Wing's recommendation. So declutter and maintain organization in your home to create a serene and functional. It has to be functional. You make it a serene environment, but you can't find anything anywhere. You can't be functional. No, that's not like. It has to be functional. All right, that's point number 1. Implement eco-friendly, meaning environment-friendly practices such as recycling, conserving energy, and reusable products. A responsibility towards nature, right? Very important, towards our community, towards our neighborhood. Very important. Charity begins at home. Environmental responsibility also begins at home. And we'll be giving a lot of other information on this as time goes on. Participate in community improvement projects or initiatives to promote a healthy and thriving environment. Planting a tree campaigns and all kinds of things that are there. And when you do some volunteer work to improve the environment, you're improving yourself. You're increasing this number, the 10, which is the environment number that you're giving to yourself. It'll increase, and you're going to feel a whole lot better about yourself by doing something good for the environment. Lots of possibilities, and Angel Wing will provide list of local organizations. There's a lot of information available on this where you can participate this way. All right, we're a couple more here. Number 11, contribution to society. This is volunteerism. That can overlap with the previous one. Volunteer or donate to causes you care about. It doesn't have to be only money. Money is one part of it. You can donate some time. You can donate some food. You can donate some volunteer hours. There's a lot of ways of giving back to our local communities, right? So identify organizations and causes that align with your values and offer your time and resources. Maybe it's the church community. A lot of people like to volunteer in the churches, or in synagogues or in temples or in mosques. Fantastic. It's a great way of keeping your own tradition alive, contributing to the next generation. Maybe you want to do something for the kids, or run like a teen group or like a discussion group. There's thousands of ways of doing all of this. Use your skills or expertise to make meaningful impact in your community and beyond. So something to be done, maybe weekly, one activity, once every 2 weeks, once every week, even a small action taken to contribute to society. If large numbers of people start doing that, it impacts the whole world in a very positive way, which is one of Angel Wing's third component is human upliftment. This is how we uplift humanity also. And then the third point here, raise awareness and advocate for important issues through social media, conversations, and events. So if you are concerned about pollution, or you're concerned about air pollution, or whatever it is, whatever concern you have as far as the environment is concerned, or neighborhood development, get involved. Decisions are made by people who show up. That's the way it goes. We always expect somebody else to make a decision. But if you're part of a community, get on the board, or start interacting with the leaders, depending on how much time you have, how much interest you have, to raise awareness about important and advocacy issues. It could be political also, that political or whatever, cultural, it's up to you. Completely up to you. We're not telling you what to do here. This is your decision. We're just trying to open the door. But the number you've given here is your number. And if you want to increase that number, these are some suggestions, and there's a lot more. All right, number 12. This is the last one, 12th dimension. Long-term goals, life vision. Now, what is a relationship? Vision is like seeing what could potentially be. And then the goals would be are things that you have actually set, like, like 10 years from now or 15 years from now, like that. So you can write those all down in your book if you want, and then we'll be creating some specialized materials for that a little bit later on. But some things to keep in mind. Consider your values, passions, and strengths when envisioning your ideal future. Now, when we use the word future, good, I mean, tomorrow is also the future, and 20 years from now is also the future. You've got to see time-wise, like 5 years from now, where do I want to be? 10 years from now, what do I want to see my life like? It's not always going to be like that, but it's a vision, right? Do we even have a vision? So what does a 10 look like in this? It means that you have really reflected on it, and it's very clear to you. Like if Sachin is doing this, okay, I know 6 months from now, 1 year from now, 2 years from now, 5 years from now, I have a pretty good progression in my mind. I've thought over about it, reflected on it. Not every small thing, but at least there's a clear path ahead, for goals and to create a plan to achieve them. So if I've done all of that, I've created a plan to achieve them, I've got the goals in my mind, I've got the long-term vision, I've got the goals and created a plan, and it's very clear in my head, I can give myself maybe like a 9 or 9.5 or something like that, But if I'm scattered in 15 different directions, I would have to give myself like a 3 or a 4 or 2 or something. It's not clear. There's a lot of confusion inside, right? So consider values, passions, strengths when envisioning your ideal future. What are your values? What are you passionate about? What do you want to see really happen? What's important to you? That's the key. Now break down your long-term goals into smaller, actionable steps to make them more achievable. Lots of ways of doing that, and there's lots of guidance we'll be giving for how to do that. But if you think you need to do one of these, write it down. Write it down in your workbook. Make some notes if you want. Or you can write it later if you want. Now, third point here: regularly review and adjust your plan to account for changes in your circumstances and priorities. Things change all the time. Every few months, things change. So you may need to change, maybe even the long-term goal, maybe even to change the priorities. It's okay. Just because you set a long-term goal for 2 years from now doesn't mean you can't change it. It's not black and white. It's not set in stone. It was clear to you, but now situations have changed, circumstances have changed, priorities have changed. The goal changes also. The vision changes. It is a fluid change, but if it's a higher number, like an 8, 9, or a 10, anywhere in that range, that number doesn't necessarily have to change. It just means you're able to be dynamic and adaptable to the fluxes, to the flux of life. That's dimension 12, folks. These are general guidelines. We're going to always go into this. You'll see this week at a time. All of this is going to all come together so to bring these numbers all the way up. Okay, now having gone through that, just flip to the next page and put quantum transformation principle number 4. You can put that in your book, and also actually, you should have the 3x5 card with you, so you can write it in both places. But in your notebook, you should also write this there. That on this date we discussed this principle, quantum transformation principle number 4, and we have just another. We're making good time because each of our weekly sessions should last about an hour and 15 minutes, but not beyond that. So we try to keep it to an hour, but sometimes it'll go a little bit over. So this is quantum transformation number 4, empathy and compassion. Write that down. Okay, on a 3x5 card. So place the card in front of you. Write that down. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points here. Now, I don't know if you want to write all 5 of these down, but write down one of the following. Which one jumps at it? I'm going to just go through it and see what resonates with you. All right, very easy. Understanding feelings, compassion, and empathy involves recognizing and understanding other people's emotions, allowing us to connect with them on a deeper level. This is one part of this. Number 2 is non-judgmental support. When we show empathy and compassion, we offer a safe space for others to express their feelings without fear or being judged or criticized. Now, you don't have to write the whole black sentence down. You could literally just put the green words there, and you can then refer to the slide later on. And even the green words kind of speak for themselves also, right? It's a matter of applying it this week. And you're going to just read it once before each meal. So you keep that card with you that you're going to try to apply this. Now, if you write the sentences black down, that's also well and good. And if you want to write more than one of these things down, you can. Okay, the third one is kindness and caring. Compassion and empathy encourage us to treat others with kindness and care, even when they are going through difficult times. This is all stuff that everybody knows, right? It's a matter of application. Emotional intelligence. Developing empathy and compassion helps improve our emotional intelligence, which is our ability to manage and understand our own and others' emotions. We have emotions, other people have emotions. So to manage our emotions and to understand our emotions and others, that is called emotional intelligence. If you think that that needs a little bit of improvement, if you want to work on that this week, you can just write that down. You don't have to write all of these down. You can just write one. If you want to write more than one, that's fine. Try to stay with one. That would be my recommendation. And really focus on that. And the final one here, strengthen relationships. Practicing empathy and compassion can strengthen relationships to help us form meaningful connections with friends, family, and peers, right? So empathy and compassion, this is actually, the principle is the QTP principle. That combines both of these together. Compassion, we know what is compassion. We feel for others, other situations in life, etc. And we feel a sense of connection with others. That is empathy. There's a lot of technical language behind it. We won't go into all that right now. Just keep it real simple for now and try to apply this week. Okay, and remember, you have your card, this 3x5 card. Again, read this one time per day. Maybe it's at breakfast, maybe it's at dinner, maybe it's before going for a walk or before taking your dog for a walk, or just read it one time. Eventually, before you know it, within a month or so, within 2 months, you will have this memorized. This sentence, you will have it memorized. This is the 7-year transformative process all the way towards personal excellence and beyond, all the way towards the height of personal excellence, right? So this one detailed paragraph says it all. And we're just opening this in thousands of different ways as we move further. That homework assignment is like a standing assignment, once a day. It just continues like that. And we're going to keep that once a day for the whole year. Okay, so Friday, and we'll have, and try to laminate that. Well, I'll send you some slides and other things like that. When Angel will try to provide, maybe during retreats and whatnot, some additional materials for this. Okay, time to put some money in the vitamin M envelope. Well, what is this vitamin M? Money is a vitamin. It's an energizer that energizes all 12 areas. You can't do anything in these 12 areas unless you have some money with you. You have to have some, and it has to be managed carefully. It has to be used carefully. You cannot buy food, water, clothing, shelter, go for exercise, recreation. You can't do anything unless you have money with you in this world. So the best use of money, the stopping the abuse of money, the understanding of it as a vitamin is the key. All right, so put some money in that envelope right now. Maybe it's a $10 bill, $20 bill. You're not sending it to Angel Wing. You're going to keep it with you a week at a time, and you'll notice. Do one thing right now, if you will. See how much money you got in there right now. Just take a look at that, and you'll see that it's building up every week. Before you know it, in a year's span of time, you'll have a good amount of money there, and that'll be a way of understanding how energy is concerned. All right, now having said that, we are right at closing point here. We're going to do our Never Give Up song, which we have been doing every week, and then we'll close our go. Let me hit the stop button here.